Welcome back, and now we're turning our spotlight to another, very interesting conversation in the arts, which is on photography. Now, of course, when most people hear photography, they think it's just holding a camera, taking pictures, and that's the end. But it's more than that. It's about capturing moments, it's about storytelling, and a whole lot more. And with me in the studio this morning to shed more light and tell us what photography is about is Amara Jidama. She is a photographer. Good morning and welcome to the
Good
program.
morning. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I can see your camera.
Yeah.
That's a very, very, very wonderful symbol to show what you do. Now,
Thank you.
let's start with what inspired you or what sparked your interest in photography.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. In the year 2020, during the COVID year,
Yeah.
okay, I was doing my previous job as a teacher, and then when the COVID started, the no movement, lockdown, everything. So my movement were restricted, and then we were not having physical classes. So I had to look for something else that would keep me busy during that time. But before then, I already had a love, a flair for photography. So I met one of my spiritual authorities, and I told him I want to venture into photography, and he said okay, he will link me up with somebody, a lady who's also a photographer. So that led to me meeting her, and then I started having my classes with her. But before that time, I had already loved photography, and in my university days, there was this my friend who we still talk together. There was a time I snapped her with her phone, and she loved the picture, and she said, you will make a good photographer. And she just said it jokingly, but I didn't take it serious. So it was in 2020 during the COVID lockdown that I had to switch over into photography as another like a means of livelihood and learning a skill.
Yeah, but why photography though? Like, because I mean, when we hear people talk about what they have interest in, most times it's not really photography, it's something else, something different, So why photography?
Okay.
What is about photography that made you so interested in it in the first place?
I love capturing, I love natural environment and then getting them. Most times I use my phone and do that. So during the COVID, I was thinking deep within me, what skill can I hone that will help me keep myself busy while also earning. So I saw that I will be good in doing photography. So I had to just switch over. But then also there was this day that I slept and woke up and I had like a trance about me going into photography, and then I just waved it off. I didn't take it serious. So that COVID time just made me go search deep within me to know what else I can do apart from teaching, the current job I was doing then.
Yeah.
So that was.
So are you still teaching, or have you left that? You're now a full-time photographer.
I wouldn't say I've left teaching because I still do private tutoring for children with special needs. So I'm combining that with my photography job, but majorly I'm now into photography. Why doing that as a part-time job?
So now you mentioned you meeting a lady who put you through. So
yeah.
Was that like a formal training with her, or was it just an informal, maybe she was just teaching you one or two things, or would you were you self-taught, or did you actually go to like a school or a training ground, or was it just you and the lady just
like I mentioned earlier, I met one of my spiritual authority and told him this is what I want to go into, and he had that lady as a friend, so he introduced me to her and told her that I want to learn. So we had a formal and an official agreement we reached. So I learned under her within the space of 1.5 years. So she taught me the basics.
Okay.
And after that, I left. And then on my own, I picked it up, went to YouTube, and then with practical hands-on work, I kept getting better.
Yeah, all right. Now, we know that when it comes to these things, there are always areas of specialty or like niches,
Yeah.
So what kind of photography do you focus most on, and why?
Okay, so when I started out, I just went into photography general, but with time, I saw that I have the passion and I love event photography.
Okay.
Yeah, event photography. So I started venturing into that, covering events for different organizations, churches, conferences, and different people who need my services. So I have a passion and I love event photography. Also, I'm trying to go into children photography because I love children. And in my teaching, I worked with little children, nursery, primary. So I have already had that background with children. So I also want to go into children photography aside event coverage.
Yeah, but handling children is not a
it's not an easy thing. It's not easy.
Okay, so you feel because you've been around children for a while, for quite a while, you can handle.
I can handle it. I've learned one or two ways of playing with them while
making
getting
them stay still
and comfortable.
Okay.
With the rhymes we've done in school, with the ways of handling them, so I've gotten an idea of how to handle a child in a studio or for photography.
Okay. Now, when you say you do event photography, now I want to just be sure. Are you just a photographer, or are you a videographer as well? Do you just take pictures and that is it, or you also do videos too?
Okay. I'm just a photographer for now, but my husband, who is into media too, is into live streaming and videography. He's into live streaming and videography. So most times I handle the photography aspect when we have an event to cover. It's just recently that I had someone tell me I should help him cover a video. He was supposed to be there, a colleague actually, but he was not available, so I helped him to do a video for a graduation event. But majorly it's photography.
Just pictures. So when you go for events, you just go there just for the pictures, nothing else.
Capturing the moment.
Capturing the moment, exactly. So now, what would you say inspires your work the most? Because I know that people draw inspirations from different things. You know, aside from the events, this thing, I'm sure there are inspirations like when you go online or you know, all these other places. So what exactly inspires your work, and what are those things that you are always looking for when you go for events so that you can capture them?
Okay, thank you. You know, photography is about capturing moments and then saving them for future purposes. So I love capturing people's emotions. Like, I'm inspired when I see like an action or something that needs to be documented and saved for future. The person might do it unawares, but then when the person sees the picture, wow, like, is this me? When did this happen? So I'm inspired by saving people's emotions and moments that, you know, they're timeless. Then also, through my journey in photography, I've come to like Gazmadu. She's also a female photographer. So most times when I go online, Instagram and YouTube, I watch her videos and I like her personality, how she makes it so easy, the way she deals with her clients and all that. So she's one woman or one person who inspires me when I go for events or makes me push on for my photography career. Okay,
she's an event photographer too.
She's an event, not just events, but majorly why she's one of my models. I love the way she makes it so easy to work with clients, and then the way she carries herself, the way she's just so comfortable with her clients, and then makes you feel at peace. And her style of photography too is what. Yes, I love her style of photography. So she's like a model, someone I look up to.
Okay, now before we go to the style, because I want to ask you about your style, but then when you mentioned, you know, knowing the moments to capture when you go for events, how do you know which one is the moment? Because there are a lot of moments in the event. So how would you know the one that is so worthy to just get, and the person will be happy that you got it?
Okay, so over time in my work, I've come to learn that what people like or what they love to see is their happy moments, like when they are smiling, when they are greeting, when they are laughing. Then events that have stage or like a platform where someone stands. Okay, now you know that person will want to see him or herself talking to the crowd, the expressions and all that. So these are things that have given me idea over time. Okay, these are moments that people actually want to see after an event is over. The moments they're interacting with people, the moment they're laughing, like maybe significant moments that they might not at that moment know, but when they see it in picture, say, this. And then also in no events, some events are big. So when by the time you help them capture people, like just do random captures of people, now you see that okay, when they are going back to view the picture, oh, this person was at my event and all that. So those moments, I know that people might not be aware when the event is happening and they need it later. So that's what that over time I've learned that these moments are what we need to capture.
Okay, so you've just learned, okay, this is what people like, this is what people, so that's what you look out for when you come to an event. Now let's talk about your style, because every photographer I know has a particular style. Like there are some photographers, once you see without even their signature, you already know that this is this person that did it. So how would you describe your own style? What is it about your photography that when people see, they know that it's you that did it?
Okay, I've not stayed for long in photography, so I'm still trying to focus, and then not only focus but then create my own style. But majorly what people see or what people love about my picture is that I capture moments. There's this friend of mine that I have that she even did an advert for me, saying that if they're looking for a photographer who capture moments, they should get me. So most times what distinguishes my work from others is about the way I capture the events, and then my style of editing too. I make sure that I produce quality pictures. Okay, so you are rest assured that whenever you call me or whenever I'm covering your event, pictures are quality in delivery, and then I'm basically on the moments. Like,
how long have you been in the photography?
And
this 2020, this like five years.
Yeah.
Okay. So what has your experience been like, navigating the industry, particularly as a lady and as a female? Because I know that when it comes to spaces like this, in a room of 100 photographers, like 90 are male. so how is it like? How has your experience been like?
Okay, it's not been so easy, but then with the evolution that is happening, you can see that there are so many ladies now that are into photography. So I'm not just like the only one. But then most times when someone calls you for a job to cover and tell them you're a lady, they'll first of all ask you how good are you. So that's part of the challenge, like having to tell clients, okay, this is how I shoot my event, this is how I cover, this is how many years and all that, and then sending my links for them to view previous works. And one of the challenges I'm having usually is getting people to know, okay, this is what I do, okay, but then letting them understand, okay, this is the amount that is going to be going for. So pricing is one of the areas I'm having challenge, because they feel, okay, it's just for you to come and snap, and then they don't know that there is much work that is going to be done in the editing and then in the production. So one of the areas I'm having challenge is pricing, and also, but for acceptance, like it's like a free stuff. Everywhere you go, people already know, okay, females are also photographers. So like I'm not having that issue of being accepted to cover. I'm a female. I'm not really having that as a challenge, because if you look around the world now, we have very much females into photography.
Yeah, so that one is not really an issue. You've never been in a situation whereby you're supposed to get something, you're supposed to maybe get a job and you don't, because they will prefer a male photographer than you. I mean, that's really good. Honestly, that's wonderful. So now a lot of people, like you earlier mentioned, think it's just to come, take pictures and go, but they don't understand that there is a creative process, that leads before you even, take the shot. So when you're preparing for an event, or you're preparing to go and, take pictures at an event, what is your process like when you're preparing? What do you do ahead of
time?
Ahead of the
event. But most times I have a session with my clients, asking them the timing for the event, so that I can also know how long I'm going to be walking around standing, because majorly our work is walking and standing. Then I also have to get the location of the event, and then what capacity I'm expected to cover, whether I'm the only one who's going to be shooting or I will need an assistant, because if it's a big event, I usually have someone assist me to shoot. So I have to know the capacity of the event I'm going to cover. Then I'll also have to know the kind of people I'm expecting. Are they dignitaries, or are there children involved? Like, what kind of people the participants or the event, the people that are coming, the attendants, what kind of people that. Because most times when you go to some event, you see that some people want you to take them personal pictures, and then they'll come asking you how are you going to send me my picture and all that. So I also have to know, is it that kind of event where I will come and then have clients in the event and that will request for their personal picture, or just for me to go and shoot and then deliver to the main person who called me for the event. So these are the things that I take into considerations while preparing for any event I'm called for.
Okay, so that's just it. Once you get all these information, it's easier for you to know what you're working with, and okay, all of that. Now, everyone has phones now. I mean, everyone has phones, and these phones have cameras. So do you think that it's a threat to the photography industry? Because most times people will be like, why should I call a photographer when I have a phone, when I have a very good camera that can take pictures? What am I using a photographer for? So how is it like? Do you feel like phones can replace photography, or is it a threat to photography and photographers?
Phone is not a threat. Each of these gadgets, they have their own purposes. Now, why phones were created is not solely for photography, but a camera is solely photography and video if you want to. So you will not say that phone being invented replaces camera. No, it still serves purpose, even though it's covering taking pictures. But now you can't compare the quality of camera pictures with that of a phone.
Well,
and wait, I'm coming. You can't compare the quality, because by the time you use a phone to take a picture, now in the later years, let's say like 5-10 years, if you get back to that picture, you see that either it's getting blurry or it's losing the color in the pictures. But a camera picture, when you snap it and then save it in a device, it retains that quality no matter the number of years. Then in phone, most times you use it to snap, and then you might not have the ability to edit as professional as a proper camera. Okay, you can edit, but it will not come out as fine as when you use a camera to snap. So phone is not a threat. It serves the purpose of camera, but then you can't compare the quality. That's just the difference. The quality. Yeah, I know there are some high-tech phones that the qualities are also good, but then the camera still has its own good quality as compared to that of a phone.
Well, do you think people actually understand that? Because I mean, if you didn't give this explanation now, a lot of people are still thinking the same thing.
Yes, I have clients most time, when you tell them the price, this is the price, they'll tell you, okay, we'll use phone. Forgetting that yes, you can use phone, but then it will give you a good quality such that you can post or you keep for a long number of years, and you still retain that quality. The idea is to retain the quality of what was shot that day in the later years, because what we are doing is to document memories. So in the next 5 or 10 years, if you bring out that picture that was snapped with the phone, will you still have the joy, the excitement, the colors and all that when it was snapped at that time of the year? So that's why the camera is still better off with as compared to the phone pictures.
Okay. Now, speaking of editing, now I know that I've seen some pictures where some people complaining when they take pictures, and it's not the editing is either too much or too little, and it just distorts the image. In fact, it's so misleading. The person you see in real life is not the person you're seeing on the picture.
Okay.
So now, how do you achieve that balance when you're editing so that it does not affect the authenticity of the person, especially when you're capturing moments and you're trying to make it real? Yes.
Okay. Now, one thing in editing is style. Everybody has his own. Every photographer or every creative has his own style. Okay. So now, before you call a photographer for an event, you have to go through the person's previous work to be sure you like what you see. If you don't like it, you can reach out to the next photographer available. So when you call a photographer for an event and then you've paid, that means you've accepted that whatever the person delivers is what you accept. You've seen the style of how he or she does the editing. So if the photographer does his or her work after covering your event and you don't like it, you can get back, okay, this area or this thing didn't do it well. The person can re-edit But one thing is that understanding that every photographer or creative has your own personal style, and you must be at home with it. You must accept it before you make your payment by seeing his or her own previous works. So editing is not something that you say, okay, this is the standard. Everybody has his or her own way and creative mindset on how he wants the pictures to appear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's just about editing. There's no laid out standard or this is the way. But one thing that we don't need to do is to do overboard, like editing overboard, so that the person loses his or her own physical appearance and all that. Yes. Okay. That is not acceptable.
Some photographers do it though.
Yeah.
Okay, so now earlier on you mentioned about the challenges that you have, but the major thing you mentioned was when it comes to pricing and customers accepting the price that you've given. Is that the only challenge you face as a photographer?
Okay. Okay. Another thing I can say is the challenge, which is not every time, is my size, my body size. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. How?
Maybe you go for an event and then maybe you're not dressed to show that you are. Maybe I'm not wearing my photography tag or all that, and they see you with the camera because I'm small in stature, so they will think I'm just maybe a side. I came for my side hustle, not as the major photographer. So most times they don't give they give me the room maybe to express myself, or they feel okay, I just came. I was not invited as the official photographer. So my size sometimes, not all the time, is also a challenge for people accepting, okay, she's the main photographer for this event. Let's give her space to do her work.
Oh wow. Okay, so that is one of the, so these are the two issues that you have when it comes to just pricing and your stature.
Yeah.
But does it make you feel some type of way? Do you feel embarrassed when you?
No, I don't. I just explain myself out.
And that is it.
And that's it, yeah.
Okay, so now before people started calling you for jobs, what was that one thing? What was that particular shoot that you did, or that particular thing that you did that you would say was a breakthrough moment for you that made people actually want to patronize you? Because you know when you're just starting out in something, when people have not seen your work, they'll be like, I've not seen you now, so I don't know what you can
deliver.
Exactly. So what was that thing that you did that made people become comfortable with actually hiring you to do jobs?
I will say there was something major that I did, because I started out as a novice. I learned under a lady. Okay, so I was following her for her event. When she have an event, I would join her and assist her. One of the major things that is helping me and is still helping me is my consistency, and then pushing out my work out there for people to see.
Okay.
Because one of the things that any business person or creative has to do is to let people know what you do, publicize your work. Okay. So there was no major work or job that event that I did, and no, they have not been. It's just my consistency and then publicizing this what I do, telling people this what, and then you also see that when you go for an event, they say, wow, a lady photographer, and people want to patronize you or partner with you.
Yes.
So showing up daily and then being consistent in what I do is what are the things that are helping me out to grow. For people keep coming, clients calling for it to cover. So there was no specific
thing. Yes. Okay. So it's been 5 years now. How would you say the journey has been so far?
It's not been easy. It's not been easy because after I left the lady, I learned on the I tried my own to learn from YouTube, and when I started learning with her, I didn't have a camera.
Okay.
I didn't have a laptop, so you see that I was just doing theory. It was some months before I left her that I got a camera, and then she put me through one or two things, a camera with the prior knowledge she already taught me.
Yes.
So and then I started out working. So working on my own has not been easy, because in this kind of career you needed somebody who is always there when you have an issue, a challenge in the field. You will call, reaching out and all that. But what has also helped me is colleagues around. Apart from the person I learned under, I've networked with a lot of photographers.
Okay.
And my husband, as a media person, he also have friends who are photographers. So most times when I have a challenge, I reach out to them, and then they put me through, and then it helps me to keep moving on. So it's not been so easy, but God is also helping me. Yeah. And then also why While I was learning, I just told God that, majorly because it was his that dream, that trance I had that made me to have a strong push to go. So most time when I have a challenge, I still go back to God and tell him this is the area, and then he will just tell me, okay, do this. Like, not that he will tell me, but there's something I will just have to see, okay, I do that and this works for me. And so sometimes I also do trial and error, and then I keep going and getting better.
I had fun having this conversation with you. Thank you, Amara Jidama, for this lovely. I'm so happy you are a photographer and you're a female photographer at that, and you are thriving. So well done. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right, and with that, we've come to the end of our show this morning. I hope you had a wonderful time with our conversations and the guests we had this morning. Make sure to stay tuned to our channel. Make sure to download our app on your device. Make sure to follow our social media platforms so that you can stay updated on our trending news and other programs that we have in store for you. I am Uchenna Chimdi Oluoha. Good morning.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking.